This I believe. Music helps us understand ourselves. Why I love music. I've always loved music. Some of my earliest memories involve my mom teaching me how to truly listen to it. She didn't just put music on in the background as we went about our day. Instead, she encouraged me to truly listen to the lyrics, to think about what the artist was trying to communicate, and to appreciate every genre. After each song, she would ask me how it made me feel, what I thought it was about, stuff like that. Whether it was rap, rock, country, pop, R&B, or something else entirely, she believed that every artist had something meaningful worth hearing. These are some of the albums that really shaped my childhood that she would play on replay and that I found immense meaning in and connection with. At the time, I thought she was just teaching me about music, but looking back, I realized she was teaching me about people. I believe that music helps us understand ourselves because it allows us to understand others first. Every song is like an invitation to someone else's brain, into their life. For 3 or 4 minutes, a songwriter shares their fears, their hopes, their heartbreaks, their victories, and their insecurities with complete strangers. Music has the unique ability to communicate emotions that are often difficult to explain through ordinary conversations. As listeners, we step into another person's perspective, and in doing so, we discover parts of ourselves reflected back at us. Songs become like mirrors, helping us recognize emotions we may not have been able to identify on our own. This is what has always fascinated me about music. No matter how different our lives may seem, human emotions are surprisingly universal. A teenager in Georgia can connect with a 50-year-old songwriter across the world because grief, joy, love, fear, and hope transcend culture, age, and circumstance. Through music, we realize that our experiences are rarely as isolated as they feel. We're not alone. Music helps us process our emotions. Throughout my life, music has been more than just entertainment. During moments where I felt overwhelmed, confused, or alone, songs would become a source of understanding. There were times when I couldn't explain exactly what I was feeling, but I would hear a lyric that would describe it perfectly. Suddenly, feelings that had seemed impossible to name suddenly made sense. The music didn't solve my problems, but it helped me understand them. And more importantly, it reminded me that someone else had experienced something similar and they had survived it. Science helps us explain why music has such a profound impact on us. According to Allison in Harvard Medicine magazine, listening to music activates multiple areas of the brain responsible for emotion, memory, motivation, and reward. Rather than just affecting a single part of the brain, music engages several systems simultaneously, allowing songs to become deeply connected with our thought, memory, and emotional experiences. This neurological response explains why hearing a particular song can transport us back into a specific moment in our lives, or can help us process emotions that seem impossible to articulate. Finding my voice. One moment in my life that demonstrates the power of music to me is when I was 16 and I came out to my mom in the car while playing a song called Girls Like Girls by Haley Kiyoko. Looking back, it was really awkward and cringy, and it certainly wasn't the confident coming out story I'd once imagined for myself. At the time, however, I was terrified. I didn't know how to begin the conversation, and I wasn't sure I could get the words out. The song became my voice when I didn't have one of my own. It communicated what I desperately wanted to say before I was capable of saying it myself. The experience taught me something that I continue to believe to this day. Sometimes music speaks for us until we are ready to speak for ourselves. Songs that have shaped me. As I've grown older, I've noticed that a lot of songs I return to reveal something about who I am. Taylor Swift's song The Man helps me regain confidence in myself when I'm feeling down. Her song My Tears Ricochet captures the complicated emotions that can exist after betrayal and loss, and by listening to that song, I was able to work through a lot of those emotions myself. Joey Graceffa's song Letting You Go taught me that loving someone sometimes means accepting change instead of resisting it and moving on. Sasha Allen's song 20 Something reminds me that uncertainty isn't failure, it's simply part of growing up. None of these songs were written about my life specifically, yet each has helped me better understand my own experiences. I've spent countless hours wondering why certain lyrics affect me so deeply, or why one melody can make me emotional while another leaves me unmoved. These moments of reflection have taught me that music is not just something we consume. It becomes part of how we interpret ourselves. It provides language for emotions that otherwise remain unnamed. Sometimes it even reveals feelings that we didn't realize we were carrying until someone else puts them into words. What makes music remarkable is that it creates connection between two people that may never meet. Some songs come from artists' own experiences, while others are written from imagined or borrowed perspective. But once a song is released, it no longer belongs solely to the artist. Each listener brings their own memories, their own struggles, and their own hopes into the experience. The result is something truly deeply personal, yet universally shared. One song can mean hundreds of different things to hundreds of different people. And every interpretation of the song is valid because it each reflects a different human experience. In a world where people often feel isolated and misunderstood, music helps remind us that we are all connected. Every song is evidence that another human being has felt something worth sharing. Every lyric is proof that our emotions are not unique even when they feel overwhelming. Music allows us to hear another person's story, recognize parts of ourselves within it, and then leave with a better understanding of both. Because of that, I believe that music is one of humanity's most powerful forms of connection. It teaches empathy by allowing us to experience another person's perspective. It gives us words when we struggle to find our own. It helps us process emotions, discover identities, and remember that no matter how alone we sometimes feel, someone else has stood where we are standing now.